Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Candidly with Coffee.
Hey, just like that.
Your favorite thing to say.
We back.
Like Happy Friday, guys.
Yep, happy Friday.
A week it has been.
Yeah, say
tough.
the least.
It's been a tough week in this household, you guys.
Yep.
That I did not understand or realize the magnitude of having a female in heat with the dog, a male dog in the house that's not fixed. It is a problem.
Major problem.
And because of it, so basically, Phoebe's in heat. I think we touched on it last episode a little bit. But Charles, I think she's entered into officially like full-blown ready.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles will not stop trying to get to her.
Nope. He's relentless.
It's a nightmare all night long, all day and all night. You can't. He broke her out of the crate once. Now I have to double lock the crate. He's insane. He's driving the whole house crazy.
Yeah. Might have to give him up for adoption. Anybody want to adopt a small dog?
No, seriously, you guys. It's we have desperate times here.
Oh,
it's
man.
so bad that like I haven't slept proper in days. Because he tries to get to her all night long. There's no way to separate them. If we had them in different rooms, they would still try to get to each other.
Yeah.
So there's no solution other than, if I were to board him out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that this is almost over, but he is getting a little snipperoo.
Yep. Snip, snip.
We decided to do the L snipperoo tomorrow.
Yep.
I don't know if will it right away he won't go for her?
I don't know.
You don't think?
Because
I don't know.
Well, he's going to be in pain.
I mean, he's going to be in pain for sure. But I don't know if suddenly will that just turn it off?
It's just it's their procreation, man. They're just like us. They instinctually he knows he has to procreate. So he's trying his best to get to her.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you guys, he's just whining and panting to get into her crib. Probably going to have to stop this a few times just to even get through this podcast because it's just insanity.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. I was so mad at him last night because would you believe he actually jumped up and woke me up on purpose? Like he wanted to wake me up to let me know, like, hey, can you like let me get to Phoebe? Like he woke me up. He scratched at me.
Damn.
To wake me up, and I'm like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
I was like gonna freaking lose my shit.
Nothing worse when you're sleeping, knocked out good, and then
I was knocked out good, and we're gonna get into that. But man, you didn't budge though. Like the other nights, I know when you I know when you wake up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you're not aware, when the other previous 2 nights, you would wake up a little bit as I was having my situations with this dog of mine. But last night you were dead.
Gone.
Dead. And that's what I honestly,
I was gone.
We have to talk about it. Grab those bottles for me. So we tried last night, you guys, and this is not sponsored. We're not being paid to talk about this company.
No.
They sent us these for free. I'll be completely honest, but they're not paying us to discuss these. But I said, sure, I'll try them. So let's discuss what these are. These are called Delta 8 gummies. They are from the company Delta North. They are, what is it called? Delta 8 THC. Delta 8 THC. So they're federally legal. So this is federally legal. They're not legal in all states, though.
No.
So they can ship them to only states that are also legalized.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, and I'll get into the differences of Delta 8, Delta 9, but we tried it last night. And luckily, thank you for the warning label here that said, read first. If you are not a THC smoker, cannabis smoker, only take half a gummy because it might be too strong. I listened, thank God, because it knocked me the F out. It knocked me into a different planet because when I woke up, he finally woke me up, I didn't know what day it was, what year it was. Like I was so knocked out and my feet, when I tried to get out of bed, felt like I was in cement shoes.
Oh, wow. You were heavy. You were in realm, huh?
And then, let me tell you.
Did you wear your watch?
No, I didn't.
I wore mine last night.
I need to, yeah. So we'll look at yours, but I should have worn it. Obviously, it was unfortunately too bad it wasn't a normal night because I had this situation with the dogs. But let me tell you, it was the kind of sleep that you crave every once in a while. Like, you just want to be super deep.
Yeah.
So like I equate it to like after a weekend of camping and you finally get home in your own bed and you're exhausted and you just sleep so good.
Of course.
You're just so tired. That's how I slept last night. It was incredibly effective for me.
Yeah.
And I have not had a good experience with edibles. I have tried edibles before and it was always a very bad experience. I always got sick, anxiety.
Yeah.
You have to be really careful with these kind of companies and make sure that you're getting what you think you're getting and that they're like third party tested and very regulated. And this company is, before I took this thing, trust me, when I did my reading and research, because I wasn't just going to like take some random THC gummy from some company. So I wanted to see like, okay, what's the difference between this and CBD and like real THC and all of that. Anyways, so I took half a gummy. It worked for me. Tell me what your experience was. I could tell you were in a deep sleep for sure.
Yeah, I slept good.
You slept more than normal.
7 hours, almost 8 hours.
Almost 8 hours. That's a lot for you.
It says I was in REM for an hour and 45 minutes. That good?
That's good.
Deep, 16 minutes.
See, I don't sleep deep very little at all. Very little. But I don't know. I didn't have my watch on last night.
Total almost 8 hours. Usually I'm like 6.5 hours.
So I purposely didn't do anything else last night. I didn't do any other sleep supplement, just this, because I wanted to see if it worked. So now I would like to try a different way. I want to take half a gummy during the day and see what it does. It's supposed to help you focus, be really relaxed, but focus, like you can really concentrate. So I'd like to do that when I'm awake because I didn't feel a high or anything because it literally knocked me out. I was watching Real Housewives of New Jersey. I could not tell you one single thing about that episode last night. I don't know. This knocked me out so fast and felt heavy. And every time Charles would...
Like heavier than the melatonins?
Oh. If I would give them a melatonin sleepiness, like on a rate of 1 to 10, I would give a melatonin a 4 and this a 10.
Damn.
In terms of like the feeling.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I can't even, like I said, I got knocked into another planet. That's what I felt. Like I'm like, what day is it? What, do I work out this morning?
You didn't even remember when I came to bed, huh? No. Yeah, you had the TV full blaring. Nope. That damn show of yours.
Yeah, no,
I remember nothing. Women.
So I did want to look into it. So what is it exactly? Because it is called Delta 8 THC, and it is the THC from the hemp plant, not the cannabis plant.
Oh, interesting.
So I think that's the biggest difference. It's not as potent as Delta 9. So Delta 9 is the THC that's in cannabis.
Yes. What did we take?
This is Delta 8.
Oh, no wonder. I didn't feel nothing either.
What do you mean you didn't feel anything? You did. You were slept really.
Yeah. I'm saying that the high of it. There's no high.
No, there is a high though.
Oh, is there? It knocked me out. That was my high. Put me to sleep.
No, there can be a high. It's not like CBD where CBD doesn't have the psycho benefits, or doesn't have those things. Yeah. It does give you a high.
Huh.
It's not the same as CBD. Delta 8 and CBD, they're both cannabinoids, but Delta 8 has more in common with Delta 9, which is traditional cannabis, right? That people, when they talk about smoking THC, that's what they're talking about, traditional stuff. Traditional flower. Because unlike CBD, the Delta 8 also produces psychoactive effects. So it is like CBD with a little bit of a high. And you should also know that although it's federally legal and it's not like traditional cannabis, you can still fail a drug test with it. So you have to be mindful of something like that. If you're in a profession where you can't...
Like commercial truck drivers?
Yeah, like...
Unfortunately, they cannot, yeah.
So it's something to be mindful of.
It's too bad.
But if you are looking for a little bit of something to help you sleep that... maybe you don't want to take it every night. Maybe this is something that I would do like on a day I don't have to wake up early.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know what? I'm going to take a gummy and crash
What do you think would have happened? You only took half, right?
Yeah.
What do you think would have happened if you took a whole one?
I won't do a whole one for a while. I will work my way up to it because I was knocked out. But I also
knocked me out too.
I even felt a little tiny foggy when I first woke up, but it went away. And then I was like, I felt good on my workout. So I'm like, you know what? Even though my sleep was really broken, the sleep I did get was solid. And like I said, this is not sponsored. I just had to discuss it because
I slept 6 hours straight or almost 6 hours straight. Had to use the restroom and boom, went back to sleep for another 2.
Yeah.
Usually I can't go back to sleep.
I would recommend it. I'll link it in the show notes. I would recommend giving it a try if you struggle to go to sleep and you are not, someone that has to worry about being drug tested or anything like that.
Also careful with medications you're on. Make sure it doesn't.
Oh, of course.
Have
Always,
any effect.
Consult with your doctor before any that type of stuff. But the biggest difference is Delta 9 is much more potent and has a lot more, psychoactive properties.
Which is what I smoke.
So let's see. Delta 9, they say, is approximately twice as powerful and side effects more severe, including paranoid delusions, mental cloudiness, motor impairment, anxiety. With Delta 9, Delta 8, not so much. So it's kind of perfect because it's like a mild version of smoking.
Yeah.
And if you're using it just for sleep. And I love it because a lot of companies, they'll like promote something like this and they'll promote all these amazing benefits. Like, all these, if this company is real to the point, like, it could.
Placebo effects.
Placebo effects.
No, I've been saying people report all these fake things.
But like fake companies, I'm saying they'll market it like for pain relief, for this, for that.
Yes. This
company just kind of said like, it's great to add to your health and wellness routine. Will help you focus, maybe sleep a little better, wind down, type of thing.
Yeah.
Really, really like not like real bold claims. It's kind of like you got to try it and just see what it does for you.
That's it.
I liked it.
We're all different, right? You don't know what it's gonna do. Like you said, a half sent you into oblivion.
I loved it actually.
I took a full one. I knocked out 2 last night.
It did affect you because you slept better. I could tell, and obviously your watch says you slept almost 2 hours longer than you normally do.
Yeah.
But you're a smoker too, so you have a different tolerance level than me. I do not smoke or anything, but I loved it. So I'll link it in the show notes. Okay, hot coffee topic.
That is true. Tap in, my fellow smokers.
Hot coffee topic. And this is interesting. Let's give it a little. Let's move these. Let me give you a little cheers. By the way, happy Friday. If I haven't said happy Friday to you guys yet, sorry. I'm a little grumpy, I think, because this week has been rough.
You know why? What do you always say?
Sleep.
Yes.
Sleep is huge.
So important in health and fitness. Sleep is like the most important.
Yeah. Sleep is massive and it totally
affects the mood.
It affects you big time. Okay, hot coffee topic is did you hear of this story? Are you?
Yeah, I'm stretching. My shoulders are sore.
Okay. You're getting filmed, right?
I know.
Okay.
Got to stretch still.
Okay, so did you hear this story? Busta Rhymes got groped. He was like walking. I don't know if it was through a mall or through an airport, but a woman ran up to him and grabbed his butt. And it's on camera. She grabbed his butt and he had a knee-jerk reaction, turned around, angry, and threw his drink on her. And he's been getting some backlash for that.
Here we go. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, what do you feel about that? I'm like, you know what? I think his reaction was 1,000% warranted.
Agree.
Isn't that that's assault?
It is sexual assault. Imagine if I run up to you or a woman, I just sexual assaulted her. I touched you.
Yeah.
That's sexual assault.
Yeah.
That's a charge.
He's retaliating. I don't care who it is.
Why is it always okay though? The other way around. Why?
If you flip it around.
Oh hell!
And it was a guy.
Yes.
And it said went up to Cardi B, and she did that. It would be no big deal, right?
Oh, they'd be praising her.
Because it was a woman, and because he threw it aggressively. And if you are watching on YouTube, I'll pop the video up on YouTube so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Because he definitely threw it aggressively, but it's one of those things that it's like rage. Do not touch me.
No, women. I'm not. Listen, I don't want to generalize, Kairos. I'm not sure if women know this, but we don't like to get touched either, especially by strangers, and not our privates, not our butts. Don't do that. Period.
Yeah.
I don't like nobody touching me. Don't put your hands on me, man or woman. Period. Straight up. That's it. It's
have
all about
a,
respect. You disrespect me, I might have that reaction too. He's lucky he didn't swing. He might have had a different reaction and swung. He doesn't know who that is.
And he would have still been warranted. Like if he like turned around and just like...
Or threw an elbow?
Yeah.
Like out of anger?
Listen, I have thrown many elbows because my ass has been grabbed many, many times. People love to do it in clubs when it's real tight.
You wouldn't tell me that one time.
I know, because I knew you would freak out. I just like would
freak out.
But they grab or they put their hands, like back in the day, Vegas days, when you're working your way through a crowd, you got a short dress on.
Yes.
Men will take the opportunity to put their hand up your dress.
Yes.
Or put their hand between your legs or whatever. And I would throw like massive elbows constantly. And I would throw a drink. I
almost got slapped once or accused of it. Turned around, looked at me like, I didn't touch you. Psst, I'm right here. Some other fucking
because somebody they do it and they walk fast.
Of course
and
you
don't know who did it sometimes.
No. That's disgusting.
But
that's nasty. That's super sexual assault. You can't be doing that, man.
Yeah, but it goes both ways.
Yes, it does.
So if a woman does that to a man, it's the same. Listen, you know what cracks me up? Everybody wants equality.
Yeah, right. There you go. Speak on it.
Until something like this happens. And then it's like, oh, but that's a woman. Yeah, but she assaulted him, and he had a knee-jerk reaction.
And maybe he's married. You think his wife's going to appreciate it? Or maybe he has a girlfriend or fiance.
And she thought it was so funny. She went and grabbed and then, like, paused. It's not like she was, like, running to not be seen. It's like she thought he was going to like it or something. She, like, ran up to him, grabbed him, and then, like, and then she just got... It's actually kind of funny. I'm sorry. Some people will be, like, so mad. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I am not one of those.
First off, leave celebrities alone. They don't want to be ran up on, grabbed. Leave them alone. They're not zoo animals. They're not there for you to pet them and touch them. And they're human beings like us. They just happen to be good at their profession, make lots of money, and they're on TV.
Why do people feel like they need to touch?
Yes. Though? Why?
Like the Elvis fans in the back in the day.
Yes.
You know, like, oh, Elvis, and they would cry. Why do you have to touch?
Faint? Yeah, what do you have to touch?
I'm confused with the touch.
Who told you it's okay to touch?
I don't understand.
Well, we're not saying you guys, our audience. We're just saying in general. Who the hell gave human beings the permission to touch strangers? In general,
like
you don't know these people.
You see like a barricade and you see like celebrities coming through or whatever, and you see everyone reaching over trying to touch them. Why? That's what I don't understand.
What the
fuck
isn't going on their brain? Oh, I touched those. Oh my God, touch the king, and they'll faint and collapse, and like you touch God or something. What happened here? I just want to know. What did you feel? Did some energy, some special energy went through your body? I don't know. It's a sick obsession to me.
It's cool to see celebrities and stuff. Like, oh yeah, it's cool.
Babe, we've hung out with celebrities.
I know, but
on tables.
I just don't understand. Someone needs to explain the phenomenon of the need to touch. Why?
I don't know.
Like, I don't get it. First of all, I am one of those people. I have a space.
Yes.
Like, like Dirty Dancing. This is my dance space. That's your dance space. I always loved that saying because I have like this imaginary circle around me.
Me too.
And I don't like people to enter into my space. Like, I'm very weird about my space. Don't come up to me, grab my arm, put your face in my face and want to tell me a secret or something. It's like, well, back the truck up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, we don't need to do all that.
Like, I can, like, back it up. Too close. Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah, me too. You know, another thing I try not to have my back to the door. If you notice that when I sit down in a restaurant.
You don't like people behind you?
No.
Yeah.
It's a prison thing.
I don't like it either.
We don't like it. I don't know what it is. I don't like a man behind me. I don't like anybody behind me. It's weird.
You know what? Speaking of,
I don't know why.
Space.
It bothers me.
Speaking of space.
I can't help it.
Coffee topic is like going on a tangent, but I cannot stand when I'm in a line and the person behind me creeps closer and closer and closer. Like the line isn't moving. And so I'll take they'll get too close. So I'll be like, okay, I take a step up.
Dude.
They will then take another step. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'll just try to shuffle a little further away. They'll shuffle a little closer. I'm like, can you stop?
Can we bring the signs back? 6-foot rule? Can you back the F up? Yeah. I had someone recently. The reason he got a pass because he's older man.
And he kept creeping up closer.
They're a little too close, but you got to pass. Anybody else, a younger man, hey, homeboy, check this out. I respect. Can you back up? Like, we shouldn't be able to touch each other. There's still COVID and flus and sicknesses.
But that's not why.
That's not. But that's
it's a
you're
fun
my space.
Excuse to use because then you could say,
Yes.
6-foot rule
Yes.
now.
Or 3-foot rule.
I've always been that way. Like I do
me too.
not like people to be too close.
Mm-mm. Why can't people understand that? I get aggressive. Like I don't know. I get like protective. I don't want to. Don't invade my space.
Oh my
Damn
gosh. I remember when I used to work at Netflix. And I would be in my cubicle and like someone would want to come show me. They'd be like, hey, pull up that email you just got. And they're like above me, like wanting to like point.
Oh, they're hovering over you like.
Hey, first of all, back up.
Yes.
I will pull it up and get in like my side view or something, but not over my back. That is, it enrages me.
I wonder why we're like that. Is it an Aquarius thing or what the hell is it? But
I don't know what it is, but I like.
I think the only person that wouldn't bother me would be you. You could do that to me and it wouldn't faze me one bit. It wouldn't. But anybody else, I think, yeah.
Right.
Because I don't like people over my back, behind my back.
No, yeah. And
it's a street thing too. I've always, when you're hanging on the streets, rule of thumb is you always facing the streets. Never have your back to the street because you don't know who's going to run up on you, what's coming. So we're always on the lookout. So that's instinctual. If you notice, I'm always, as soon as we step out of the house, I'm always scanning. I don't know what it is. Just instinct, I guess. A lot of people don't have that. I do. I don't like, exactly. I don't know what it is, but got to watch your own back. That's the truth.
So with the Busta Rhymes, I am totally Team Busta. Team Busta. You know what's so funny? Ironically, I don't know what it is, but like I've never been into rap music or hip hop or anything. Like that was the one genre I didn't care for when I was, younger. And so, for whatever reason, I would always think every song was Busta Rhymes. I loved Busta Rhymes, and I would always say like, "Ooh, is this Busta Rhymes?" And Robert would be like, "No, it is not Busta Rhymes," because he liked hip hop, and he would just think I was such a dork because I just could never remember any hip hop artist's name. I would think everybody was Busta Rhymes.
No, you were like more like rock, right? Rock and roll, your genre.
I liked rock, 80s rock. So it was even my genre was a little. I was a little young for the music that I liked. Mm-hmm. And I like even like Air Supply, even like 70s rock, like Air Supply.
So I know none of that.
Men at Work. And
I remember that group.
Then I loved Men at Work. But then there's like Def Leppard and things like that. Now I would say my favorite artist, my favorite group is Coldplay. Love Coldplay. It's my absolute favorite.
Interesting.
Other than that, I don't listen to a ton of music, but I love the Coldplay radio. Because the mixture of music they play is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Team Busta all the way.
Right? You might get some slack.
Oh, well. Really?
Who knows?
Yeah, I think.
You know how it is, man. Team women, to Me Too movement, they come after us men. It's always our fault, this, that,
I just think
you could assault us, insult us, do whatever, and we're not allowed to say nothing.
I've always been the type of person to try to look at things from both directions.
Yes.
I always flip it to see, well, how would this work if that was like I said, Cardi B and some random dude went, like that would have been like a brawl.
Oh, Cardi might have stabbed that dude. Cardi's gangster. She's from the hood.
And it would have been okay.
She would have swung probably.
No, it would have been a complete
No.
Like,
Cardi would have definitely been a brawl. She would have been fighting.
She would have, and then security would have taken him down or whatever, but
it would have been a beatdown.
Because it was a woman, not so much. Why is that? I don't know. That's what those kind of like. I don't like double standards.
I want you guys listening. Discuss this. Pipe in on the comments. What do you guys think? What's your thoughts on this? We're curious because, like you said, you got to flip the coin twice.
Yeah,
that's how it is. Humans don't ever like to do that though. They like to see one side and their side only. And I'm tunnel vision and I'm right. Like, dude, you got to flip it and see it both ways.
Yeah, but I also I'm open to hearing other people's opinions on things. I'm not super like, oh my god, it's my way and that is the only way. No. And only comment if you agree 100% with me. No, I mean, exactly. This is what disagreements and stuff is what makes the world go round. I don't like to debate per se. I'm not a debater. I won't waste my time debating. Yeah. But I think it's perfectly fine for someone to state what their, opinion is.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta
have healthy debates. Yeah,
I actually had someone comment on the last video. She wanted to, point out that how I confessed that I said the R word to Tyler in my anger one day with him. Mm-hmm. The word retarded.
Yes. Yeah.
Which it's a slur. She wanted to say she wanted to make sure I knew it was a slur because I don't think maybe I didn't convey that in the episode. I definitely recognize it as a slur. I do not use that word. It came out, and I admit it. It's not something that like I said, I don't use names. I don't call people out of their names. But I will have to say that was a playground term back in the day.
Yes.
Like, things change. Yeah, we become more sensitive to certain terms, but that was regularly used on the playground
in our
when I
era.
was in school.
Yes, it was. A lot of words were. That today are so sensitive or deemed offensive. You got to understand, that's hard for some older folks. We come from a different era.
That's how it comes out. So it's like, because you can say like, well, obviously if it came out, it's something in your vocabulary. Well, not really, because I don't regularly say those types of words. I don't call people out of their name. But yeah, it's in there because
it's programmed.
We used to say that. You know, we also used to do, and this is not anything against the person who left the comment, because it was a kind comment. She was just like pointing it out. Someone told me it was a slur, and so I know you wouldn't want to offend anyone. I know it's offensive. Absolutely offensive. Of course. And so I wouldn't use it now. I was just sharing that I used it, and I wasn't proud of myself for using it before. Because I can't come on here and say like, I've never said any, racial slur or things that would be offensive or whatever, because growing up, certain words were said more,
Yeah. Crazy,
They were said more loosely. And I was never really one to say those types of things, but I can't say I've never said anything that, was offensive or considered a slur.
Yeah.
Because you live and learn. That's what I said. That's what I commented back to her. Like, yeah, I know. It was not my proud moment that came out of my mouth, but you live.
But you know what? At least you can admit it. A lot of people would hide it and say, "Oh no, I've never said anything bad to my kids," and blah blah blah. And the lie detector determined that's a damn lie. Come on now. Mothers, fathers, they say things out of anger. They snap sometimes on their kids. Kids drive you guys crazy. I'm not a parent. I don't know, but I help raise your kids a little bit. They can drive you crazy.
I would never want to offend anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So even if telling the story offended anybody, and if it did not come across as clear in the episode that I knew that word is a slur and inappropriate, that's just my bad in editing the episode or whatever, because I know it's bad. That's why I shared what I did, because I felt like, ooh, it came out of my mouth, and I was like, after I said it, I was like, oh, I can't believe I just called him that.
Yeah.
And not even just him, just anybody. It's just not something I would say. But anyways, thank you for the comment, because those types of comments, no problem. Those are constructive, like, let's have a discussion comment. I don't have a problem with that. I don't like people like keyboard warriors. That's a totally different type of communication, and I'll just delete those.
Yeah. People want to get aggressive and act like they want to fight online. Like, you're not really want to do that. Trust me. You're just typing like you really want to do that, but you don't. You're like you said, keyboard warriors.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out. I won't necessarily read the reviews, but I do want to thank these people for some reviews. Erica, thank you so much for your review on Apple Podcasts. And I think we got another one in here too. Oops.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm trying to find it. Okay, so we've got... I don't know why it won't let me see all of them. Okay, yes. Erica and Nels Bells. So if you guys want to send me an email, I'm going to treat you to a cup of coffee. Thank you so much for the review. I read every single review, and it's so helpful for us on Apple Podcasts. So
yes,
I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to managing weight loss expectations. This is a big one. And the reason, a lot of times when I come up with topics to talk about is because it's been brought to my attention recently. So there's been a few comments, DMs that I've received of people asking like, hey, is my progress okay? Or whatever, client conversations I've had. So it's so important for you guys to understand like how true weight loss works, because it never ceases to amaze me when somebody will say, they'll comment saying, hey, like, I got my macros done and this I didn't do these macros, but she commented on like a TikTok video. I've got my macros done and I wanted to do it for weight loss, and it's been 6 weeks and I've only lost 6 pounds. I was like, that's excellent. What are you talking about?
What did we read? The expectations of people are sometimes way too high.
It's very important to manage expectations because if you do not know what to expect,
that's
then
actually
you're going to be disappointed.
Yes.
And then you think that it's not what you're doing is not working. And so what you do is you keep pivoting. Oh, I didn't lose 10 pounds this week. Pivot to the next thing. Pivot to the next thing. You're like, which way can I go? What food can I not eat? What drastic thing can I do? What cleanse can I do? Because it's not working. And you're spinning your wheels because you're waiting for like this miraculous thing to happen because someone on Instagram said they lost 30 pounds in a month or something. Yeah. You know, like, don't go by that stuff. Don't go by people. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know who's being truthful.
They're doing extreme stuff sometimes.
Scientifically, you know, in order to lose a pound of body fat, you have to create a deficit of 3,500 calories in order to do that.
Yep.
That's a lot of calories in a deficit for 1 pound. So when you think you can lose 2 to 3 pounds in a week, do the math. It's almost like you'd have to eat crumbs. Because to lose 3 pounds in a week, you'd have to create a deficit of over 10,000 calories.
Yeah. People don't look at it like that, though. They think like, I'm going to walk 10 miles. I'm going to fast. I'm barely going to eat. And the weight should come off. It will come off initially, but
it doesn't work because you can't sustain that.
That's the downfall, the sustain part.
So if you think about it, approximately 1,000 calorie deficit per week. So if you are able to have a deficit of 1,000 calories, meaning you consumed less than you burned to the tune of 1,000 calories, that would equate to close to maybe like a half a pound, right, on the or a half a pound of fat. But even that, so that would be excellent results. And let me throw a half a pound on the table in front of you and see what it looks like. Half a pound is excellent.
What the girls say, 6 pounds in 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Throw 6 pounds on the table.
So half a pound is good. But because it's so minute in the number, it's going to be hard to see that on the scale until you accumulate 3 to 4 pounds of it. The scale is measuring way more than just your fat loss. It's measuring your skeletal muscle, your bone, your fluid, your waste. It's measuring so many different things. So even, a little bit of extra salt the day before would negate that half pound of weight loss on the scale. So you might not see it. So you have to kind of just have blind faith. You have to know, okay, look, I know I'm in my deficit. I'm doing what I need to do. I have to do it long enough to where it's going to reflect on the scale. And that's just the way it works. Like, that's just the way it goes. You're not going to see it. If you lose a pound of fat, you might not see it on the scale until it's up to 2 to 3 pounds of fat, just because of the other fluctuations that are happening. And a half a pound a week is excellent. Now, if you want to set like realistic expectations, 1% of your body weight weekly, but that's pretty aggressive. That is like the most aggressive you want to get. So for someone who's heavier, obviously, for someone who's 200 pounds, that would be 2 pounds a week.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind, that's still like an aggressive goal. That's an aggressive goal. And
that's why they say realistically 4 to 6 pounds.
In what?
In a month. 4 to 6 pounds.
Yes.
Don't do 8. Because you're giving yourself like, okay, a pound a week's more.
Relative to, because if someone told me you can lose 6 to 8 pounds in a month, for me, that would be very difficult.
Yes.
And that would be a much more than 1% of my body weight weekly.
Exactly. You'd have to starve yourself.
And, but if someone's 250 pounds, 6 to 8 pounds, that's why it's better to talk in percentages, because it is really reflective of what's your weight. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Smaller the vessel, the harder it is.
Yeah.
Bigger the vessel. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because the percentages, right? It's based on percentage. So 1% of my body weight would mean the most that I should be able to lose a week is 1.2 pounds per week. but that would be aggressive. Like I'm in a deficit right now. And I did my calculations to be half a pound a week. That's about, in actuality, it's like 750 or something like that calorie deficit per week. Not very much. I factored in about 1,000 calorie weekly deficit, because, there's going to be some fluctuation. So I figured, okay, I want to have a pound of body fat lost a week. Let's do 1,000 calorie deficit. That's nothing.
No.
That's really nothing.
It's not.
But it's perfect for me.
Exactly.
Because why? Why do you want to be modest with your deficits? Because then it doesn't feel like torture. You could stay in it.
Mm-hmm.
When people try to get too aggressive, like, well, I want to lose 3 pounds this week, so I'm going to do a 10,000 calorie deficit. That's crazy. Okay, let me just put it in perspective. Let's make it easy numbers. If you wanted to do 2 pounds in the week, that's a 7,000 calorie deficit. That means 1,000 calories per day in a deficit. So that means if you burn a total of 2,000 calories a day, you can only eat 1,000 calories to be in a 1,000 calorie deficit.
Yep.
Do you see that? And to burn 2,000 calories, you're working out, you're active. So,
right, twice a day working out.
So imagine working out and then only getting to eat 1,000 calories. How sustainable do you think that is?
Yeah, till you break. Let's be honest. People break quick. They don't last long.
And then what happens when you break? So when you've been eating 1,000 calories, do you think you break and, I'm going to go crazy and eat 1,500? No.
Nope.
You eat 5,000.
You go crazier.
Because you lose your shit.
Yes. And then you get to a place and then you're like, how did I get here?
And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to be really honest here and say, when I lost my weight originally, I've been very honest about what I did. I ate 1,200 calories a day because that's what Woman's Day magazine said to do. I was over 200 pounds. My true deficit calories at that time probably would have been, if like I did my macros, let's say.
Yeah.
I would have probably started me at 1,800 calories and then worked my way down as I lost the weight. Because 1,200 calories for me.
How torturous was that?
That was about 1,000 calorie deficit for me daily. That's why I lost so quickly.
Damn.
But you know what?
How long did it take you to lose the weight?
6 months.
100 pounds?
Yeah.
6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I am an anomaly, though, you guys. I am a freak when it comes to willpower.
Yes, she is.
So it's not good to compare yourself to me, because I was a freak about it. I'm like, well, it's working. I'm eating 1,200 calories. I'm going to walk every day for an hour. I don't care. I am sticking to it.
And and every time you see week by week by week, the pounds just melting, you more motivated, more like I'm going to stick to my guns. This is working.
That is not the norm.
No.
So it is not what I would recommend. It is not what I would do today. Okay. Because I 1,000% had a too big of a deficit. I definitely lost muscle as well as fat, and my body showed that. Trust me. My hair showed that. Everything showed that. I was not eating enough. I would not do it again today. Fast forward now, the type of deficits I do, tiny little deficits just to move the needle. And so it hardly even feels different. And you just do that as long until you're ready to go back into maintenance.
That's the trick right there. Do it to where it almost feels like you're at a deficit, but not really, because it's kind of minuscule.
What really changed? Like I have to stop and think to myself, what really changed actually? Because I'm kind of like 1,400 to 1,600 calories during the week and like 2,200 calories on Saturday. That's right now enough to move the needle for me to the tune of about half a pound a week.
And you're comfortable.
Yeah.
You're not starving.
I don't really feel like I'm in a deficit, to be honest, because it's so minuscule. Then you don't have those off-track days.
Yeah.
But the problem is people want results that are not realistic or sustainable.
Yeah. They want to do this. They want to go around things and not go through it.
And
they want to cheat the game, is what we say.
I'm not going to kid you, and I'm not going to put any names on blast, but I've been getting a lot of messages lately of people are like, how quickly can I lose 20 pounds? How much weight could I possibly lose by such and such month? And, truth be told, I probably lose a lot of clients because I'm like, I'm my program doesn't focus on rapid weight loss. Like,
No.
I'm not your girl.
Yes.
I'm not going to.
Isn't it kind of sad? But you're honest. Because you're not leading them to failure. What I mean by that is they set their expectations too damn high. 90% plus of them are going to fail. They're not going to reach those goals. They're too aggressive, like you said. It's hard to sustain that, especially when you don't have that level of discipline. Like you said, you're an anomaly. You've competed. You did the competitor's diet.
Right.
People don't understand how hard that is.
Yeah.
I did something similar to the competitors. I did the keto diet. I was monitoring, and that was hard, but I was able to sustain it. I got used to it, But
and for me, even like when I lost the weight, and then people are like, "Well, how did you maintain it?" It was not good that first time around. I didn't have a good relationship with food. I was scared to eat. I was so scared to gain the weight back. So instead of me being the type of person that, fell off the wagon and like gained all my weight back, I was kind of the opposite, but still not good.
Yeah.
It still created a fear relationship with food.
Mm-hmm.
I loved food, but I didn't have the joy that I used to have because I was always guilty after I ate something bad. And I was so afraid that I was going to, quote unquote, get fat again. It wasn't the way to go. I'm telling you, it was not good. I spent a decade after that. Yes, for the most part, keeping the weight off, but it didn't feel good. I was always worried. That I was going to gain the weight back, or I would, go off the handle sometimes for like a weekend, and then I would, do the yo-yo diet cycle. I did it all,
Mm-hmm.
It's not the way to go. But the most important thing is time is going to pass anyway, and time goes fast.
Did you say you've been getting a lot of DMs lately?
Yeah.
I know why. We're going into March almost. People are trying to get rid of their summer body.
Summer is getting here.
You waited till right now to think you're going to be in tip-top shape by summertime? I think people, again, their expectations, they don't know. They're misinformed. They need to be educated. You need way more time, man. From now to like summer. It's one thing if you're just trying to shed maybe 5 pounds, just tighten it up, tone it up.
Right.
Maybe 10.
And that's what you
want 20 plus?
Once you reach your goals and you're like a maintenance person, then you'll maybe do an annual cut to shed a couple of holiday pounds, like what I do every year.
Yeah.
Right? That's like, okay, yeah, you can do that in a couple months. But not your transformation, the thing that's going to change your life, that's going to finally, you're going to break through to a side you've never been to. That takes time, not only for the weight to come off, it takes time for the behavioral changes to click.
That's what people don't understand.
For
Behavioral
the habits
changes
to form.
Yes.
For you to, change your circle sometimes, like accumulate new people that are living the same lifestyle as you are.
Yes. You need support.
It's just, it takes time. That does not happen in an 8-week challenge.
No. Don't. You know what it is? People see these shows on TV and they see this and that. Like, is it possible? Yes. You have to go through torture, but guess what? You're not going to sustain it. You're going to end up worse. It's kind of like, not to get too off topic, but there are Jillian, what's her name?
Jillian Michaels. Who was on TMZ yesterday.
And said, yes, Ozempic is great for weight loss. Is it working? Yes. But there's always that but.
Yeah.
And what is the but? There's a lot of side effects. And what happens to people when they get off of it?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that. Like, that's why I said, like, Ozempic for weight loss should be for somebody who's going to use it forever because they have the potential to have chronic illnesses.
Yes.
Or they already have comorbidities.
This would have been perfect for my mother.
Yes.
Perfect for my mother.
Exactly.
Right, perfect, man, if this was around. Exactly.
But it is not for, I need to get ready for summer and lose 15 pounds. That's not celebrities. That's not the kind of weight loss it is. Because when you stop taking it, you're going to gain the weight back.
Yep. And then some.
You are. It's meant for long term. Long term, or somebody who had really good discipline and willpower. Like, do I think, I'm not to toot my own horn, but for me, it would have been very effective back in the day because I would have used it to lose my weight. And then come hell or high water, I would have kept that weight off even after I stopped taking the medication because I have that kind of crazy willpower. Not everybody has that. Most people don't have it.
No.
Most people don't have it.
I know what you mean.
And so I don't train people and I don't coach people with what I would do always, or what would work for me, because I know that most people can't do that.
Nope.
You know, if you can't have the treats in your pantry, get them out. Make it hard to access the treats if you can't control yourself around them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because I can have treats and ice creams and not overeat them doesn't mean I'm going to coach everybody to do that, because most people can't do that.
Nope.
You know,
so don't set yourself up.
Yeah.
It's like a drug addict or alcoholic. Don't have that near them or in front of them or around them.
Right. And that's why it's so important to coach behaviors. When I have coaching calls with people, I always will ask them, where are you struggling?
Yeah.
You know,
very important.
But the biggest thing, the biggest thing that I struggle with coaching is managing people's expectations. They just think weight loss, once you quote unquote go on a diet, that you lose 2 pounds plus per week. That Susie Q started keto and lost 10 pounds in the first week. Susie Q lost water. Okay, Susie Q did not lose fat.
And how much does Susie Q weigh?
Yeah.
Let's take that into consideration.
Right. And then the other thing is they'll see like these a lot of people will do extreme things because they want those crazy numbers. They'll see people post about their fast, like, oh, I did a 3-day fast and I lost 8 pounds, and they'll post their results and they look so much different. Their bodies look transformed in 3 days and all of that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that person do the same fast every month? Shouldn't, if they lose 7 pounds every time they do their fast and they do it every month, after 10 months, wouldn't that be 70 pounds? Wouldn't that person look totally different? Why do they look the same? Because they're not losing body fat.
Because what happens is after 3 days of
the
fasting,
same thing.
They're going back to eating. And chances are they're not going to admit to you what they're eating. They're going to overeat. And that's the part they don't show you. They're closet eaters. Just lots of them.
Nobody will show you that.
No, they won't.
Remember that social media is the highlight reel.
Dude. Why do people believe everything they see? I tell people that's all for show. Look behind curtain number 2 and 3, you guys. A lot of that's for show. It's for clickbait shows, grow my page. I have the Miracle Answer diet. No. It's all fuckery. It's all blah.
Yeah.
You know, it's snake oil. That's what Joe is.
And the other thing is like, why is it that people feel like something has to be overly complicated, then it must work? Like I see it so much on social media. Like, hey, you guys, today I get to eat X amount of carbs and tomorrow I have to eat this amount of carbs. It doesn't have to be that detailed. Who wants to live their life like that? Like it's a high carb day. It's a low carb day. Like carb cycling is a big waste of time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you right now.
Yes, it is.
Unless you are an endurance athlete who runs marathons,
mm-hmm.
or carb cycling also is used sometimes when bodybuilders are trying to put on muscle with minimal amount of fat gain. There's like a strategy they use because they use the carbohydrates for their heavy lift days for energy.
Yes.
But then they'll pull back.
For leg days.
Those are for I'm talking like the behemoth bodybuilders.
Massive.
Okay? If you are
superhuman looking dudes.
Yeah. Weight loss, lifestyle modifications, you're trying to lose weight, live a healthy lifestyle, stop wasting time with carb cycling and all these fancy rules and you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can only eat dairy on the first Monday of the month, and you could like all these.
What's funny? You say all this stuff. I'm thinking back about fitness, like rewinding the clock. I came into fitness I'd say in the 80s. I started working early. And looking back, been so much gimmicky bullshit along the way. So much fake stuff. So much fad diet. So much this, so much that.
God, so much.
Man, when are you guys going to learn? None of that bullshit works. It's all fad, fake diets. It's all snake oil.
Weight loss comes with creating a calorie deficit,
That's
right?
it.
You create a calorie deficit by any means possible. How do we think Ozempic works? It's not some magic pill that's zapping your fat.
That's what people think. I think they think it's Miss Pac-Man or the video game is going inside and it's going gobble, 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 it's eating your fat cells.
It's just forcing a calorie deficit. That's all it's doing. But because it's making you feel so sick to your stomach, you don't want to eat.
Yes.
You don't care about food. You don't want to eat food.
Yes.
That's why it works. It's not like some magical concept.
Nope.
It's just forcing a calorie deficit, right? Fasting, how does it work? Because it kind of forces a calorie deficit. If you're trying to eat all your calories within 4 hours and fast for 20, you might eat less than and little enough to create a deficit because it's only 4 hours of time.
And that works for a lot of people too.
It works for some people. But let's not lose sight of the fact that it's not magical. It's not, oh my gosh, my body doesn't have food, so it's melting the fat because it's been so many hours. No, that's not what's happening. It's just that you're creating a deficit. That's it. If your calories in order to be in a deficit is 1,500 calories and you eat them in 1 hour, or you eat them over the course of 14 hours, you will have the same amount of weight loss at the end of the week as the person who ate it over the course of 14, the person who ate it in 1 hour. There is no difference. There's tons of studies. When calories are controlled and protein is equated, because protein has a high thermic effect, when those two variables are controlled, both groups would have the same amount of weight loss.
Interesting.
So it's not magical. You don't need to do all of those things. Like someone, remember
I told you about that kid? Not to get off topic. He's like a nerdy jujitsu kid. He literally trains all day, fasted, everything, hours. And then Joe was like, how do you have the energy to do that? And he said, well, basically, I eat all my calories at nighttime. When I'm done with training, he makes himself pasta, pizza, makes his own food.
Whatever he wants, right.
And eats whatever he wants. It has an easy time making weight, too, for his fights, his competition. Like nothing, cruises. He goes... It works for him. He discovered that.
Yeah, like whatever works for you.
Yeah. So you could do it in 1 meal, like you said, 2 meals.
Right. The only thing I just want to be clear, whatever method works for you, right?
But
the clear answer here is that it's working because it's creating a deficit.
Yes.
You don't have to track macros to create a deficit. Tracking macros is just for the people that like to know beyond the shadow of a doubt. This is what I ate, so I know I'm in a deficit.
Yes.
But some people despise it for whatever reason, fine. Then you're playing a little bit more of a guessing game. Because even if, I'm going to try fasting because I don't want to track macros. Well, guess what? Initially, the fasting might work. But then suddenly you can eat more and more and more in that same small window because you get used to it. That's true. Suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I have only 20 more minutes before my fast starts. Go to the pantry, just like eat a bunch of calories real quick. Then that stops working. And then keto. First it works, right? I didn't track macros. I just had keto. Why does it work? Because fats kind of keep you full. Protein keeps you full. You're not eating carbs. So you don't have those blood sugar spikes that give you cravings. So initially you eat less calories, right? But eventually your body gets used to that, and then you can eat more and more and more. And so like, wow, keto's not working anymore.
Yep.
But it does work if I track macros. Okay, but then track macros. If you're going to track macros, you may as well eat carbs and fats, because if you're tracking macros, there's nothing you can't eat.
True. I don't know why people think carbs are the enemy.
It's just all of the fuckery over the years,
yes,
all the different things.
All the fake news and fake science reports, bro science. A lot of it's bro science, You
have to be willing to evolve with the times and pay attention to things and, make it make sense. Just make it make sense. No, nobody here, there's nobody yet that's able to lose weight without a calorie deficit.
And you know what Jeanine and Michael said was interesting too? The problem we have in America, we got to move more. She said that's the main issue here. People don't move enough.
Oh, that's a huge...
Other than overeating. And then Harvey's like, people are just lazy.
Yeah.
He's 70 years old and look at him. Yeah. He's in shape. He's right though. People are lazy. You got to move. Got to move. Stop with the excuses and move your bodies and eat less. Not starve yourself, but eat less.
Take the time
Learn.
Take the time out of it. Like when I was getting back to like managing expectations.
Yes.
Do this.
Yes.
Remove any kind of weird, like, I want to be this by this date and this. Just take that out and be like, you know what? I am going to do lifestyle what I change. Know I need to do.
Yes.
And just do it. And 6 months down the road, I know by then I will see changes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel the need to like see every change all along the way and constantly be seeking like, oh, do I see a difference? Is there a difference? You'll go crazy. Just put your head down, do what you need to do. Time goes and it goes quickly, and just think, you know what? If I just do what I need to do and stop making excuses and just get it done, 6 months from now, I know I will be transformed.
Yep.
And then just kind of like put it in autopilot. Just press the button and just do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And stop making excuses. Stop trying to cheat your way.
Can't cheat the game.
You can't
guys.
cheat the game.
Can't.
Stop trying to look for loopholes
Mm-hmm.
or
Gimmicky
quick
stuff.
Fixes.
Yeah.
And stop pivoting. Commit to something and stick with it and just do it. Stop pivoting every time you look for change. You don't see it, so you go, "Oh, I got to do this. I got to go back to keto. I got to do this. I got to start fasting. I got to take this pill. I got to, stop doing that. Just do what works. Get in a calorie deficit by whatever means that works best for you. I personally believe macros is the foolproof, fail safe.
Yep.
Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Do it for 6 months and you're going to transform. It's that simple.
Yes. And challenge yourselves too.
Yeah.
It'll help you in the process. Life can't be always easy. That's a problem. Everybody wants things easy. You got to challenge yourself. You have to. Sorry, but that's the way it goes. Things got to be hard sometimes.
Yep. Comfort kills growth. Remember that. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And we will see you guys on Monday.
See ya.